And I got furloughed because Joe Cross, he was taxiing with Justo Schultz, I think, and Justo said, unlock the tail wheel, and he pulled the gear. And it was almost Christmas time, and the rod that goes down the front of the gear when the strut is compressed, there's a rod that goes into a hole that stops the gear from retracting. Well, wouldn't you know that the left side, there was ice, so the rod could not go into the recess. So the left gear folded, and the left, the left propeller had 10 hours since it was overhauled. So, and then Bernie Sherwood made him really look hard at that wing too before the airplane could fly. So I got furloughed until about right after the 1st of February, and I ran into Jim McGoffin. He sent me to Barter Island to fly Norseman for him, and then I was back over to Barrow, flying co-pilot at 60 volts a little bit with a friend of mine, Rick Burke too. But that spring in April, I talked to Don Holsheiser, and Don Holsheiser wanted to go on the main line and and exercise his seniority. And so he traded with me. So I became a 4th-year bush pilot, and he took my spot. And I had volunteered I'd go to Barrow. So I was up at Fort Yukon when Ed Batten got killed and went over to Kotzebue. And when I got back, I went to Barrow about the 2nd or 3rd of July. And at that time, ARL, Arctic Research Laboratory, did not have any 180s of their own. And their only pilot at that time was Bobby Fisher. So when they had charters, they would use the village airplane, the 180. And they called me one day, and they wanted me to go down to the mouth of the Pitt-McGee River with a man by the name of Henry Childs. Pitt-McGee comes in about 50 miles north of Cape Lisburn. So it's quite a ways down to the beach, from probably 260, 70 miles from Barrow. And at the mouth was a real good sandbar for landing. It was quite smooth, and it was hard, and it was probably 2,500 feet in length. And but I was told, after you land, and drop their camp off, and his helper was Forrest Solomon Jr., who was the station manager in Barrows for Ween's son. And I was told to take them up the Pitt-McGee River until the sandbars got to the point where I couldn't land if I went above there, and drop them off, which I did. And Forrest Jr. told me that I kind of landed in the creek and knew I hit a rock, and taxied up and unloaded them and taxied back and went right into the creek and laid the whip to it, and the airplane flew, and I stopped in Wainwright and got some more gas and went on to Barrow, and I parked the airplane right by my house there at 21 Beach Drive in Barrow, and went in and got something to eat, and I came back out about an hour later, and the tire was split, and the tube was sticking out about 3 inches through the side of the tire on the right gear. So I had to get another tire.